Can you study to be an electrician and also get PR? Please note, if you're already qualified overseas, you could already have migration pathways. I would recommend you book in for a consultation with one of our migration agents and we can discuss it there. However, if you're not qualified, it is still possible. Basically, you study the course, and throughout the course, we want you to work in the industry. So it's actually really common for someone who's been working with the solar farms or maybe been doing a little bit of an electrical work, maybe overseas, but isn't qualified, to go through this pathway. So you study the course, we want you to work in the field as a trade assistant when you're studying it. When you finish this course, you can then obtain what's called a graduate work visa that allows you to remain in Australia after your studies. The next step is the most difficult, the skill assessment. You can't go through the job ready program as an electrician. So what you need to do is you need to demonstrate that you have a relevant qualification, which you got from the college, and 3 years or the equivalent of 3 years of work experience as an electrician. So this doesn't need to be post-qualification. This can be at any time. The work experience before, as long as you can provide pay evidence and employer references to back it up, you potentially can use that. So usually what happens is applicants will study throughout the duration of their course. They might even have some experience from in Australia or overseas before as well. When they finish the course, they'll want to continue working in their field in Australia. Once they've got the equivalent of 3 years of full-time work experience, you can then look to lodge the first step of the skill assessment, which is a paper-based assessment, employer references, and pay evidence. The next step is a technical interview once you've passed that. So someone from TRA, you go, you sit the test. As long as you can pass the technical interview, you can then obtain your skill assessment, your OTSR skill assessment. Many applicants, if they do run out of time, quite a few applicants can potentially move on to a training visa if you can't get all of this done before your visa expires. But what happens with your OTSR skill assessment, you can then look to lodge an expression of interest and request an invitation for the 189, 190 or 491 general skilled migration visa. Obviously the occupation of electrician is incredibly in demand, and so if you can pass the skill assessment, you have the points, I think there's a very realistic chance of getting invited for these visas. I hope you found this information helpful. And if you do have any other questions about the process, about the course, feel free to contact Pathway to Oz. We have free education consults, and if you want a migration consult, you can also book in for a paid migration consult through the website.